Hello and welcome to the Daily Meal for Tuesday, the 5th of October 2021. In today's Millwall news, I called this yesterday, didn't I? I don't know if you are one of the 9 people so far who's watched yesterday's video, but I said that Steve Kavanagh will probably be putting out a statement soon because he had the meeting yesterday about the new training ground, and indeed, nigh on here it is today. At lunchtime today it came out. Thus it is proven. Here it is. What does he say? So Millwall CEO talks proposed new training ground and more. An update from Steve Kavanagh. Now, he's been doing these statements every month just to inform fans and whatnot. He's been doing this thing. And yeah, so this is this month's one at the start of the month. And it coincides with a meeting that at least happened yesterday. So here you go. And you can tell it's very popular. It's been viewed. 2,736 views. Now that is a lot of views for this website. It really is. I'm delighted to be able to write to all of you. Firstly, to formally confirm that we have purchased a significant area of land in West Kingsdown, Kent, with a view to building a new high-end training complex for the club. The process is still in its infancy, but on Monday night I was fortunate to meet with local residents as a very early engagement exercise to outline our plans, what we hope to achieve, and also what we feel we could bring to their community, while also better understanding any queries or concern they had about the proposal. We have appointed architects and will submit a full planning application as soon as possible. That process, which is likely to take at least a year, will include regular consultation with residents so as to ensure we can incorporate their ideas and find ways of overcoming any problems alongside other key stakeholders, including Sevenoaks Council, the Highways Agency, and more. Should our hope of building this new training complex become a reality, then it will be a huge step forward for the football club on and off the pitch. Greater synergy between our first team and academy setups is an imperative objective, as it is enhancing links between the football and business side of the club. More generally, the aim is to build and maintain training facilities which are almost the best in the country. This will enable us to improve our own players, to maximise their individual and collective potential, and to become a more attractive proposition to new recruits across all departments. Okay, it's very important to stress, however, that this is not just about us and doing what we can to grow as a club. We want to make a real impact within the area of West Kingsdown, and as such we'll look to widen the outstanding work of the Millwall Community Trust so that residents of all ages and backgrounds can benefit from their varying programs, projects and funding. What we need to do is better understand the challenges of the community and problems faced by those who live nearby, so that the community trust efforts can be tailored to best suit those objectives. The obvious question is, how long will this all take? The truth is, it is impossible to say at this stage, but we are conscious that the lease on the site at Kavanagh Road doesn't have too many years left to run. Now I told you in yesterday's video that there was a story from the ground had been sold in 2006 by Peter de Savary to St John's College, Oxford. If you check yesterday's video, all the details are in that. That was mentioned in a News at Den article from 2014. So this is how far we're going back, how this situation has been brewing. So 2006 to now, I think it was 15 years. So if it doesn't have too many years left to run, is that a 30-year lease? Because that would mean they're more than halfway through it. So maybe it is a 30-year lease. So yeah, maybe that's why things are happening now, because they need things to happen now, because things are going to, if you don't get sorted now, it's going to be too late. I liken this to buying a house. Once it all goes through, you want to move in as soon as you can. This is no different, and it's never straightforward. What we cannot afford to do is be complacent about any of this, and it is crucial to take one step at a time. Next up is the task of submitting a full planning application, and then following the formal process necessary within that. We will be as open and transparent as we can be throughout the months and years ahead, while also maintaining the confidentiality required at varying stages. So they're expecting this to take years. So it's saying it's going to take up to a year just to put in the final planning application. Then they've got to build it. And then while it's building, then they've got to open it. So we're looking at 3 years at least now. It remains important to focus on the here and now also, and this week we'll be taking delivery of a new unit to house the gym and physiotherapy and sports science offices at Kavanagh Road. The installation of this large unit is part of a wider rearrangement of facilities that were designed to improve the working areas of the management and players. So they're still spending money on Kavanagh Road there. So, and here's the thing, so that large unit, what's that going to be? Is that going to be like a prefabricated kind of thing? Is it going to be a shipping container type situation? Is it going to be something that can be put together and brought back down again and then taken with them to this new place or sold on? It sounds like it, doesn't it? Elsewhere on the property and development topic, we remain in discussions with Luton Council over securing a 250-year lease on the pockets of land around a den. It's a 250-year lease. Wow. So that we can both... So maybe... No wonder that Luton Council are being a bit funny about a 250-year lease. So the club is saying that's not a normal thing, is it? It's normally a 99-year lease. But now the club is saying they want a 250-year lease, and then Luton Council I'm in and are in, and then they look like the bad guys when it's a 250-year lease. I mean, Jesus. On the pockets of land around the den, so that we can both future-proof the club at its current home and have license to develop the areas in question as part of the wider development of New Bermondsey. Obtaining that long lease is absolutely imperative for the club, and not until it is secured can we finally move to the next stages, including submitting any planning application. The chairman and board of directors are entirely unwavering in their commitment to the development and our investment in the local community of Lewisham, and we hope to be able to make positive steps forward in the weeks and months ahead. So there you go, statement there. So are we moving to Kent? That's the thing that's always brought up. Or are we moving to the South Kent area, South East London Kent area? It's always being brought up, because apparently, according to some fans, most of the fans live out that way now. But the club, when they did their bring the fill den, bringing back, trying to get fans to go back to the club, they did their number crunching on their databases of names and postcodes, and they said no, most of our fans are still in SE postcodes, so our fans aren't in Kent. But all the people bods in Kent, because they see a lot of people around them Mill fans, they travel in, they're like, well, I see a lot of Mill fans in Kent, so that must be the reality. When it's so not really, because there's still a lot in South East. There's a few in East and a lot farther, a few farther away as well. So that's a little statement there from him saying we're not moving to Kent, we're still in Lewisham at the den. So and they're trying to get a 250-year lease, so we're going to be there for the next 250 years, hopefully, if that comes through. Because of other key societal and economic issues, there seems to be less talk of COVID within the media of late, but we remain as vigilant as possible across our different sites to ensure complete compliance to all the regulations and protocols in place for us as a football club. The risk of further outbreaks remains very prevalent, and we will continue to monitor what is said by the government and footballing bodies in relation to the potential impact on the sport. Such a large percentage of the population is now double vaccinated, with most others having at least one single dose so far. And I'll urge anyone not in either of these two camps to help protect themselves and others where possible by getting a jab. Okay. I would personally, I would say speak to your doctor concerning your own individual circumstances. If you have specific medical problems, you should discuss it with your doctor and not listen to the chief executive of Millwall Football Club. COVID protocols are set by the government and or safety advisory groups and local authorities, not clubs. And I will again reiterate that we will never implement anything at the den beyond what we are mandated to do. But we have to be mindful that the current government plan B would see us mandated on vaccine passports, and we have been warned that this could be imposed at short notice, even as little as 7 days. Well, that's going to be fun if you book your train tickets in advance, isn't it? Hopefully it doesn't get to that. Of course, we'll ensure fans are fully communicated with. The subject of safe standing is again on the agenda, and we will be keeping a keen eye on any trials elsewhere so as to learn about what works and what doesn't. We are eager to introduce safe standing areas here at the Den, providing there is of course the desire from the fan base to do so, and also if it can be done in a way that is cost effective and enhances safety. Well, that's an interesting statement there. So they are eager to introduce safe standing at the Den if the fans want it and if it's not too expensive. And where will that be? East Lower probably, or both Lower, West Lower, East Lower. Maybe they might trial it. Maybe in the South Lower, because that's the cheapest area anyway. But then here's the thing: if you're in favour of this, you got to be aware of this. They already get on people for standing. Anyway, I don't know why people stand during a game. Especially at night, I go to a lot of night games and people are standing and you can see that they're coming in like their work club. It looks like it's like you've been working all day. Don't you want to fucking sit down? I do. I'm fucking knackered, mate. I want to fucking sit down. I don't want to stand for fucking 90 minutes. I really don't get it. And if you want to stand, get to the fucking back of the stadium. People are fucking standing right down at the front and people behind them can't see. Why would you be such a fucking arsehole for? Get out of the fucking way, sit the fuck down or fuck off. So what you've got to realise now, you people there who I've just talked about, if you're still watching this and you haven't clicked off already, if you're one of those standing, once they have safe standing at the Den, you're going to be told, sit down or fuck off over there. You got to realise that, yeah? So there won't be no standing in the West Upper. There won't be no standing anywhere else. You stand where you're supposed to stand, in a safe standing area. And everywhere else, they'll start pulling you out and chucking you out. And all that jazz. So be aware of that if you're thinking of endorsing safe standing at the Den. Clubs up and down the country are working with their local safety groups and authorities in terms of their own stadium, and we are no different. As part of those discussions, certain issues are highlighted, and one of our biggest ones is persistent standing. Oh, here we go. It is particularly challenging the away end because of the shape and incline of the upper tier of the north stand, but also in certain home areas too. Please do be considerate of other fans if you are persistently standing, and be conscious of the impact it also has on us to be able to trial different initiatives. There you go, that's what I just said, no? So back to the away end, we're fully aware over the years there's been a lot of talk about the lack of use of the lower tier in terms of housing opposition fans, but increasingly we want to open it for all games where necessary. I'm regularly asked about why home fans can't sit in that area, but it's due to the north stands, food, drink, toilets, access, egress facilities all being located on the lower level. It isn't possible to split the stand vertically down the middle and segregate accordingly. Utilising the lower tier for away fans also alleviates the issue of standing in the upper tier, which is higher risk and may provide us with more time to understand what does and doesn't work in terms of safe standing trials in other grounds. What? So they're saying they might bring in safe standing in the north lower for the away fans. That's okay. That's a shocker, isn't it? So I thought, oh, he's talking about safe standing for the Millwall fans. The first thing he wants to do is bring it in for the away fans. Let me have a read of that. So utilising the lower tier for away fans also alleviates the issue of standing in the upper tier, which is higher risk, and may provide us with more time to understand what does and doesn't work in terms of safe standing trials in other grounds. What? This week we will begin an engagement and consultation project with fans located in our disabled areas here at the Den, coordinated by Shona Groves, your supporter liaison officer, and a representative from the Millwall Supporters Club. Fans will shortly be contacted and asked about their matchday experience and what areas we can improve upon across the short, medium and long term. It is also important to us as a club that we are inclusive and accessible for all, so we will do everything we can to introduce any measures that will showcase that absolute commitment. Okay. That mindset extends to the Zampas family stand, which again we want to be an enticing area to those who sit there and those who would look to as possible. As we all know, it was award-winning in 2017, but we are conscious that in the past couple of years it has needed a bit of attention and investment, and so next month we'll be doing exactly that and revamping it during the November international break. As always, if you have any queries or concerns, then please don't hesitate to get in touch with the club using the normal channels. Your continued feedback is necessary to help us ensure we are the best we can possibly be for you. And Steve Kavanagh. So there you go, there's Steve's statement. Yes. So in summary, they are looking to build a new thing in Kent, but so here's a thing that's this one here. So greater synergy between our first team and academy setups. So now this place here, West Kingsdown, it's near Brands Hatch. It's basically in the middle of nowhere. So you're gonna need academy players who, how can I put this? So there's, with little public transport or options, like you've got Eynsford train station, that's far, quite a way away. So I suppose you could have them travel to that and then get ferried from there by someone giving them a lift. But it's not exactly like Bromley. The one in Calmont Road is Bromley. There's buses. There's a lot. It's connected to the London bus network. There's train stations nearby. All of that. It's well connected. Now, if we move to this training ground here, it's not. Will they have the training there, or will they have training at the place in Eltham for the academy, or will they have it at the Den next to the Den in the Lions Centre? Although, isn't the Lions Centre gonna be done away with in this new Bermondsey jazz stuff? I'm not too sure, but it does very much seems, even though they said they're committed to Lewisham, it means just the Den is going to be there. What else is going to be there if you're moving everything away? You've got the junior teams training in Eltham, which is in Greenwich. You've got the first team and academy training teams training in Sevenoaks, and there's all that's going to be in Lewisham is the Den. And how? So we've already got, I don't know, there's this thing, like it's a couple of journalists have been covering this, football journalists, about all the great players coming out of Southwark and Lewisham and Lambeth playing in the Premier League. And it's like, yeah. And is that part of the reason why we're moving away? Because none of those players, I don't think, were ever on Millwall's radar. And they're literally from Southwark and Lewisham. And none of them went to Millwall. We missed out on them. And they're now all playing in the Premier League. I think players like Jadon Sancho, Eddie Nketiah, Jordan Ibe, players like that. I can't remember all of them, but someone said like there's literally like a dozen Premier League players from central South London, and none of them ever touched Millwall. I don't think. And you're scratching your head like, well, why not? Yeah, why not? Maybe they were too good for us, and that kind of shows. We were in League One at the time they were coming through, so maybe they were like, well, I don't want to sign for a League One club. If you got offers from a League One club or a Championship club or a Premier League club, or which one are you going to take? So maybe that's something to do with it. We just missed out at the wrong time to be in the third division. I don't know, but when we're moving our training ground to Sevenoaks, does that mean we're just cutting off the local lads? They're all like players from Peckham, Bermondsey, Rotherhithe, Deptford, Lewisham. They're just out of the window now, because we're going to be trying to get players from Dartford and Bexley Heath, Sidcup, places like that now. So we're moving away from the working class roots, and we're moving into a more suburban situation. I don't know. So we're going to be relying on players being driven to training by their mums and pops and that kind of thing, not being able to travel on public transport to go to the training ground because it's literally in the middle of nowhere. That's one of the things I'm probably concerned about. I don't know, because now, yeah, I don't know. That is a concern I might have. And they're also here where he says they're moving they're going to tell the Millwall Community Trust to focus on working with the local area of West Kingsdown, like maybe the primary schools and stuff there. So that's pretty. So it seems they are moving out that way. Everything, the whole shebang is moving out that way. Unless they have another branch of it. They have the one next to the ground that does stuff around there, and then they have the one by the training ground. Will that spread it too thin? I don't know. So there you go. So I said a statement would probably be coming, and here it is. And yeah, could take years. But we don't have a lot of years left on the lease to Calmont Road, so something needs to happen. So we will see. And it says they were trying to extend that. No, they were trying to buy it back. So it seems that they're not interested in that. The college, I guess not. So I guess it's not happening. So moving on today, I also said there might be an under-23 game there. And then I looked at the fixtures and realised, it's an international break, but there was a game anyway, a friendly. And here's the thing, I only found out really late on. I literally found out as the game was kicking off that it was at Hitchin FC, It was against Luton, and you could have went and watched it. And I'm like, guys, give me some fucking notice. I literally could have went to this game. I would have went to the game. I've never been to Hitchin. I would have liked to travel up there, get the train from King's Cross, get up there, and watch the under 23s play. And this is a side that was put out. Gilmore, Walker, Garande, Penny, Ockley, Topoloj, O'Brien, Ben Thompson, Briscoe, Abdul Malik, and Drozd. Substitutes Evans, Davis, Boateng, and trialist A and trialist B. So they're still going on with the trialist there. So that's interesting. So are they not happy with the squad, or are there a lot of decent players out there still without clubs due to the COVID stuff and all that? And they've just got to like, well, let's have a look at him. Anyway, so yeah, so we played Luton at Hitchin, and one of the reasons I knew about it was this guy Mike Simmons, who was live tweeting the game, which was nice. But he's a reporter for lutontoday.co.uk, which is the Luton News, Herald and Post website. And you can see there, Luton Town under 21s, not under 23s, under 21s, 1, Millwall under 23s 3. I'm not sure. I think Luton might be one of these teams that have bowed out of the academy and have their own kind of standalone team, like Brentford, and somebody else is doing it as well now. I think so. I'm not sure. I think they might be, because that's why it would be an under 21s and not under 23s. Luton's under 21 side were beaten 3-1 by Millwall under 23s in a development friendly at Hitchin Town this afternoon. The Hatters began with recent additions Connor Lawless and Elliot Thorpe in the side, while Harry Isted was between the posts. Town made the perfect start as in just 3 minutes. Addition from Spurs, Thorpe picked the ball up inside his own half. He burst forward, delivering a perfect through ball for Lawless, who slid an inviting cross that TQ Addy confidently converted from close range. Addy went close again on 8 minutes when Josh Swan did well to win the ball back high up, finding the attacker who went for the near post, but Lions keeper Jordan Gilmore collected. Another burst by Thorpe, who, like midfield partner Casey Petit, showed some neat touches and a good range of passing, putting Avon Jones on the right. His cross touched on by Tyrell Newton for Lawless, who couldn't connect properly. On 20 minutes, Isted kept his side in front, getting 2 good hands to Sean O'Brien's free kick from just outside the box. However, he was beaten 4 minutes later when an in-swinging corner was met by Arthur Penny's glancing head, which nestled in the corner of the net. The Lions looked the more threatening, Seb Dross advancing after Luton gave the ball away, his low effort bouncing up for Isted to gather. Town's stopper was by far the busier out there, preventing Tyrese Briscoe from putting Millwall in front after good work on the left by Ben Thompson. Hitstead was then called upon on the stroke of half-time, as following a fine block by Matt Maloney, he bravely dived on the loose ball ahead of Briscoe. After the break, Millwall remained in the ascendancy, taking the lead on 54 minutes when Town's defence was picked apart by a deft move and Briscoe was left totally unmarked to tap him from a yard out. Isted kept Town in it moments later as Abdul Malik danced across the Town back line, the Luton stopper getting down excellently to keep his shot out. The Hatters came close, restoring parity after an error from visiting keeper Gilmore, whose ill-advised pass across his area was seized upon by Addy, but his angled drive was off target. With 15 minutes to go, Lawless scuffed a volley in the side netting after a deep corner dropped to him at the back post. In the closing stages, Luton should have levelled when Petit's crossfield pass found Addy, who played in substitute Adam Wedd. His cross missed by Newton, who hammered the post in frustration afterwards. Millwall made the host pay in stoppage time, Isted again preventing Briscoe from close range, and the visitors' substitute tucking home. And yep, there you can see the teams and all that. So 3-1 Millwall, decent result. Shame they didn't tell anyone about it, because it was open to the public and you could have went and watched this. We've got this now. The Lionstore will be closed for a day. Now, what's that about? Millwall's Lionstore at the Den will be closed for one day on Wednesday the 6th of October, so that's tomorrow. Supporters wishing to purchase items through the Lionstore can still do so online. So don't go down to the club shop tomorrow, it will not be open. The Lionstore will reopen as normal on Thursday the 7th of October. So don't go down there tomorrow, it won't be open. You can go down there on Thursday, it will be reopened. Now, what's that about? Are they bringing in the Christmas stuff? Weird, isn't it? Weird. Okay, we'll wait and see. So, there was some games in the conference and in the Papa John's Trophy. So, Leyton Orient played, but Alex Mitchell didn't. They didn't bother involving him in that because he's recovering from a tight, is it hamstring? So they're resting him. They want him to be fit for the next game, in the next league game. Dover played against Aldershot, but Junior 10s didn't play. He got injured the other week, so that's 2 games he's missed for them in a row now. But Dan Moss did play. Dan Moss played for Yeovil Town in their 0-0 draw against Maidenhead United at home, and he played nearly the whole game. They took him off right at the end. Don't know what that's about. I hope he's not injured. Maybe he's just got a bit knackered, but he's had they didn't have a game the other week, it was postponed, so don't know. Maybe it's just tactical substitution, trying to waste some time, bringing on another kind of central defender or someone. Don't know. Maybe they're bringing on an attacker trying to nick the game. I really don't know. But I hope he's not injured, because that's a weird time to make a substitution. But there you go. So he played the whole game in a 0-0 draw, which yeah, not bad, not bad. And that was the only Millwall related loan player to play today. Like I said, Junior 10s are injured. Alex Mitchell not involved in Leyton Orient's Papa John's Trophy game. So there you go, that's it. That's it for today's video. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.